This is AI Marketing Experts, where bold marketers and next-gen AI collide. Each week, join us as we decode trends, test tools, and share real wins from the AI-powered front lines. No fluff, no hype, just straight talk and smarter marketing. Tap subscribe, and let's geek out on AI.
All right, welcome everybody. It's Brad Kilgore here from America's Best Shops, and we are chiming in for our next episode of AI Marketing Experts. One of our experts is on vacation today. That would be Chris Hunter from Roofing Sites, and so we're going to just rock it out without him today. But we are excited to roll into our next episode. We've been doing this for several weeks now. We're having a good time. We're here to share as much information and real life strategies and ideas with business owners that need help with their marketing and how AI integrates into all that. So today we're going to kind of go round robin around the room. We're going to talk briefly about some of the latest things we're intrigued about or testing out on our end with some of the latest AI tools or systems, because it changes so rapidly and it's just unbelievable how quickly we're immersed into these things. And then we're going to have a spotlight on John Glendenning from Carpet Cleaning Marketing Masters. Did I say it right?
Yep, close enough.
And he's going to give us a spotlight on how to train your GPT to do some really cool stuff. So kind of going around the room, I'm just going to mention something that really intrigued me that Jen Crago had mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Had we looked at or talked about or researched GenSpark. Now it's Gen, Gen, not Jen. But I was looking at some of the stuff last night on this tool or this platform, and it's advancing quickly. Now, not to say that some of the other LLMs or AI systems can't do similar things, but some of the things that were really cool that I thought were worth checking out is what you could do with one thing that I really liked was I literally could say, can you make some slides for me about this YouTube video? Now, it didn't even have to be my YouTube video. It could be anybody's YouTube video. I could put the link in there, and then it would literally spit out slides for me that I could then edit. I could download to PowerPoint. They were incredibly detailed. Obviously, I could change them around, do whatever I want with them. But if you're looking for ideas, that was really cool. There was a lot of other pieces. You could book a trip with it and what have you. But the next level that's already come out for Mac users and soon for Windows users is there's going to be a GenSpark browser that you don't even hardly have to do anything. It's going to all be built in, and you'll just be able to talk to it, and it's going to be able to do so many of these advanced things for you on the fly. So I know there's probably more to it than that, but that was just my first run at it, and I tested that a little bit, and I was like, holy mackerel, this is cool. So that's my tidbit for today. So who would like to go next?
I got a couple things that have popped on my radar. So I think we talked about ChatGPT and the MCPs coming out. So it just last time, and that was just sort of like where now you've got tools you can have like you put your Google Calendar in there and your Google and your Gmails and things like that, and have it interact with these different tools. That's what the MCP is, to sort of create things that it can interact with. And then so one step farther than that I knew nothing about, that Jen and I chatted about recently, was so there's Chat LLM, so not Chat GPT, but Chat LLM by Abacus, and it's brings in models from ChatGPT and Gemini and stuff like that. But it has now got a AI agent builder, so similar to what you're just talking about, Brad, but where just with a voice prompt, you just talk into it or type into it whatever you want, and have it create the full agent that can do things. So, again, it's a playground you play with, figure out what you can get away with, watch some YouTube videos, stuff like that, like these ones, or like, the podcast like this or others. It's just like, it's kind of a new release. It's called their deep something. Well, it's not deep research, but actually I'm just going to look it up because I have my computer over. But it's, yeah. And the whole idea, but my point basically is that these things are advancing so fast, as we all know, and this tool is only $10 a month, as an example. And Yeah, and it allows you to have that ability to build things with your voice without having to be a coder, without having to go deep. So the farther down the rabbit hole you go and want to go to help do stuff, realize that every week and every 2 weeks, every month, the learning curve is actually coming towards you as well. It's shortening. They're making it easier and easier for consumer use as well. So it's kind of two competing forces, more capability and easier to implement. So shows like this hopefully help you stay ahead of the curve and understanding what's coming up.
Awesome. I think, was it Laura who was chiming in next, or Jen? I can't remember. I know
Laura.
John just stepped on whoever's toes because
Yeah,
he
It's
doesn't
that
a
normally
happens.
first call.
I was just speaking up because Mid-Journey, what they have rolled out and what everybody seems to be playing with is their V1 video tool. And so being able to take that image and create something very, very amazing. Obviously, we know it's going to keep getting stronger, but it does give you something to start with a still image and be able to make a video clip. So I thought that was very intriguing as to watching people play with that as it's getting stronger.
Yeah,
Right.
video's going crazy. Video's going
Yep.
absolutely nuts. So
Video realm is going quick. I'm seeing the VO2 is popping into all of it. Canva has it now, and I think ChatGPT, and it's just insane how quick it'll just be like, whoa, that's just second nature now. So, how
Yeah.
about you, Jen? What's on your mind this week?
Yeah. So, a couple of things. Um, First of all, so I get a daily report from ChatGPT about like the new things that have come out that I should look at, and I just find it have found a little bit interesting lately that for a while it was just like the top 5 things, and it was just a summary, and now it's been this way for just a little while. It's including like 3 cards that are links out to other articles with like it shows the image and stuff like that. So it's just getting a lot more visual, I guess, and like visual, and it goes back to brand really, because it's only linking to articles that are on high value brands, high authority brands. So I thought that was interesting. And then I have only read a little bit about this other thing, but just for to share a cool thing that I heard about is some 9th graders in, I think, Long Island built an AI buddy bot to help encourage teens to have better social media habits, like to make it a more positive experience. And so I don't know enough about it. I should have actually looked more into it before even mentioning it, but I thought I love to hear how, number one, kids are using AI. They're being innovative with AI. And also they're using it in really positive ways. So when we know how destructive social media can be for younger humans. And so to hear that they're doing something positive really made my day.
That's awesome.
oh, that's a feel good story. I like that.
Yeah.
So, because I've heard all the Mark Zuckerberg talking about how more and more people are going to switch to AI instead of real humans, and he believes that that's going to be the social interaction for the shut in the basement crowd kind of idea. So I like your story better than his.
Yeah. I want to hear more good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we
So
can all do a little homework between now and next week and bring in some really cool stories about how it's making a positive in the world. Because certainly it's almost like when the internet came out and continued to be around for years, you had bad actors out there doing stupid stuff,
yep.
and so that's bound to happen with whatever medium is out there. But I'm sure that a lot of good can be done as well, and that's our goal too, is to bring good and help other people with what we've got, because we live and breathe this stuff. So hopefully we can bring eye-opening stuff that could help you. So with that, I think we could kind of turn it over to John, and the rest of us can chime in as well. John, we're going to give you the floor. You can share your
Okay.
screen or show us what you got, and kind of show us
Yeah.
some simple stuff on what you got there.
Okay, so before I share the screen, what we're talking about is there's all different levels of people that either have played in ChatGPT, Perplexity, any of the AI models, and kind of get the depth that, the good, better, best. They started off with something, they just got playing, and that's what we always suggest everybody does anyways. If you're not in using it yet, download the app on your phone and just start using, take a picture inside your fridge and say, what can I eat for dinner? Like just play, just make a mess, right? And you'll start learning how to interact with the tool better, and you'll get a little bit excited, maybe follow a few people that talk about it on social media and come up with some better ideas, and then it starts to go aha. Then there's the other crowd that goes, okay, well, that's old news. I've been playing with this thing for a year or two now. Like, now I'm learning more advanced stuff, right? So how do we use it a little bit more strategically to be more of a strategic partner? And then there's a level beyond that where you're actually kind of with like the deep research and and all that. You can pull a whole bunch of information together and create your own, like you're mentioning, Jen, like a custom GPT or an AI agent of some sort that can do a whole bunch of tasks and bring something together and give a final output with a very little bit of front end prompting and something that is excellent and really well done. And there are layers and differences. So we were chatting a little bit about this in the background over the week and said, what would it be like? Why don't we take something like a fictitious business, like a dog walking business, and kind of just walk through that mental model and say, hey, what is sort of like good, better, best, like kind of really advancing your use case of it. So with that, what I'll do is share my screen. And what we're going to do is talk about, and we'll all chime in where we can. But yeah, we're going to talk about sort of starting off. There you go. There's your screen. What should we begin with? And a really basic prompt that people would type in. I'm just going to copy it over from another screen just so you don't want to see how terrible my spelling and typing and edits are. So, but create a social media calendar for my dog walking business, right? That's how a lot of people start, right? And then here's a monthly social media calendar, right? And it says here's the calendar: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Content behind this type of content behind the scenes, focus, your routine. And like it's still going. Like we've got right now, I am using 4.0, so the general model. I don't have any tools turned on, and it broke down into a sample monthly post. Monday, what a day looks like for a dog walker. Come walk with me. Tuesday, 5 tips for safe summer dog walking. Wednesday, meet Max, the goofy golden retriever, loves puddles. We'll call it Woofy Wednesday. So, I mean, I think it's done a really good job. Week 1, week 2. It's got some engagement boosters. It's got some tips for success. So this output is nice and clean. It's given a lot of ideas to me already, seeing like how ChatGPT has even evolved to know other people's prompt. It's pulled other people. Like, again, the other thing you got to realize is when you're using ChatGPT, whether it's the free plan or the paid plan, nothing in life is free. You are feeding the data into the ecosystem as well. So if you want teams where they tell you data is carved out separately, that's a separate thing. But and maybe not a bad idea for companies, but understand that you are putting it out into the public sphere. This isn't on your computer. This is out on a cloud somewhere. But what do you guys think of this initial output from just on a general level, typed in a really basic prompt, and it kind of created a decent outline?
Mm-hmm. I think it looks great, but one thing that comes up for me is that people can always say, like, "Hey, don't use emojis." Like ChatGPT is so emoji happy
It is.
that like there's emojis and everything, and some people love emojis, and some people it just doesn't fit their brand at all. And so you can just ask ChatGPT to keep them out, and you can also take any of those like Tuesday, 5 tips for safe summer dog walking. I mean, you can put that back into ChatGPT and, say, write a 150 word, caption for this or
Yep.
post for this. So I think it's a great starting point.
Yep,
It is.
I would agree with everything that Jen just said.
And
Yes.
the brand is missing. Like I do agree with that as well. Like that's that's a big part of your skill set, Jen, as well, is understanding and kind of hammered it into my head like as well. Just how important brand voice is in everything. So this, what does it know about the dog walking business?
It doesn't
Nothing.
know
Like
anything.
there's no name, there's no city, there's like that. It's no brand.
Yeah.
So what's your
So
thoughts, Laura,
basically,
on the
this
output?
could be used for anybody's dog walking business. And I think it does get you over the staring at a blank screen, which is like we said, a good place to start. It may get you excited about, ooh, I know exactly. It doesn't have to be someone that likes puddles. They like, chasing snowflakes because you're in a colder environment. So I definitely think that there is so much here as a good start. And I know we're going to be moving into where the branding comes into, or how to start and make your prompt stronger. And we have two different recommendations on how to do that. I think that John's prepping that bring in here.
I just
But
got to bring it up. I want to show it first. What I did here is so here is, oops, is that gonna pop
Well,
out?
real,
Yeah.
real quick, I just want to
Yep.
also point out that ChatGPT is already giving you something at the very end saying, would you like this calendar exported to Excel, Google
Yeah.
Calendar, or with Canva post template? So it's already kind of saying, do you need some of these things? Or as John's going to show us, you could take this to a whole nother level, but it's already kind of giving you some thoughts of what you might be able to do next.
Yep.
and I
And you
think
do
the
get
one
to rate
thing,
it right here as well. Was it a good response, bad response? Help teach the beast, as they say, right? And you can copy it out and
or you can rerun it.
yes. Okay. And switch models. And yeah, so again, play around. I think what we're getting from this is obviously for anybody who is sort of new or hesitant, don't be, just make a mess, right? And they'll all show up in your sidebar and you can delete them if you don't want. You can have one that's just your playground where you just play around with a whole bunch of different stuff and things like that. And then, do some deeper stuff later. So,
I
but
think as you're preparing for the others, somebody might be out there saying, well, there's so many prompts for sale. I'm just going to buy a prompt catalog of 1,000 prompts and I'll be set. Or, this is a deal. I can never get anything as cheap as this. So I'm going to buy it. And that's not always bad, but a lot of times you'll spend more time hunting for the right prompt or realizing it wasn't exactly for your branding. So the next few tips that we're going to provide hopefully will allow you to write your own prompts better and faster to get to where you want versus buying random prompts or copying them from the internet.
yep. I agree.
Very true.
And with that said, we've got two frameworks that we talk about. So Jonathan Mast, a friend and mentor of ours, he's got what he calls his perfect prompting framework. Give credit where credit is due. And then we've got was it Geoff? Is that how he spells his Jeff
Yep.
Woods or Wood? I don't know if there's an S on the end or not, but see
Yes,
again.
there's an S.
Okay, perfect. Right. So AI driven leadership book and stuff like that. He has the CRIT framework. So, and what we're talking about here is how you can now add more context. So when you go to prompt, don't just use one sentence. Again, that output was good. And there's a lot of people going, holy crap, that's better than I could have come up with in an hour of thinking about this. And it came out in 20 seconds, right? So good. But now what if we tell ChatGPT what type of expert it should be, give it a background, that is relevant to the task to be completed. Ask questions, tell it to ask questions, and and then ask your question, adding context. Sorry, the context there, and then have it ask questions. Very similar to the CRIT framework, which is context, role, interview, and task. Right. So what I typically do, and again, both of these are very similar, but what I do is I have this sitting on a notepad just like this, and I've trained my team to do this, and we just go copy, slide that out of the way, go paste. Should I start a new chat or just put it in this one? What do you guys think? Just started brand
I
new.
would start a new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So therefore, it
Uh,
can rely on what it's already provided you.
Okay. So new chat. I clicked you. There we go. Okay. I'll move that out of the way. Okay. So we're starting blank. It's not thinking about this. I got to put that in context. And what we do is just kind of go, oops. Oh, I've done that before too. Okay. I'm going to stop that. You got to press shift and enter. So
I do that
we're
all
going
the
to,
time.
yes. So shift, get that to move down, because the first time you do it, it actually doesn't move. So you got to do it a second time. And then that's where I press enter by mistake. Okay. So the context, and again, it is better. I'm not going to do it. You're going to watch me painfully type, because if any of us talk, it's going to hear my voice. But I find that if you just hit Control, Windows key and S, it pops up the ability to, for your computer to hear from your microphone, and then you could just type with your voice, right? So it's easier to carry on a conversation like that, a lot easier to carry on a conversation like that than typing it out. But ultimately, we will painfully watch me type. But so the context is um, my name is Nancy, and I own Nancy's I don't know, friendly dogs. You guys can come up with any names of
Cool thing too is ChatGPT and most all the other ones don't really care about punctuation as long as they can understand
no,
it. So even if
yeah,
John's doing chicken scratch here, it'll still, for the most part, know
yeah.
what's going
In Soho, district of Manhattan. Right. Okay. So I'm my context. There's a context. We're going to put the task at the bottom. So the context. I provide morning, midday, and end of day group. Oops. Here we go. Dog walking services for busy professionals who love. See, again, you do not want to watch me type. Live in condos and high-rise buildings in the region, in the district. Anything else we should add to the context? Anything you think for our little fictitious story?
That looks good.
Okay. So shift, enter, enter to get two. There we go. Okay. So now we got role, and the role is you are a social media and expert. And how do we want to write the role? Because again, one thing we were going to talk about is there's been a little bit of a conversation over the last week about whether how deep you need to put this role bit in or not. There's been a little bit of debate out in the media. What do you guys think about putting in the role information?
I think the role definitely still needs to be there. I find it very interesting whether to say act like an social media manager versus I need, write a social media calendar for X, Y, and Z. So you're giving it
Yeah.
context as you are, but you're saying that you're a social media expert instead of acting like. What the controversy is if we say act like, it then just puts the facade on of, ooh, I've got this power. One of the
Yes.
examples I saw was act like a doctor just to get medical advice. Well, obviously it's not going to be a doctor. That's taking it to the extreme, obviously. So
Okay.
again, I think this is a good place to play to see, okay, if we say act like, or you are a social media expert with X number of years of experience in the dog walking industry, or marketing dog walkers in the area, see what you get if you change the order of that. So it's
Yeah.
an act as.
Okay. Do you think I should keep it like this for now, or put the act?
I,
Do
whatever
you
you
like
like.
the act better or not better?
I think that what you have there is
Is
perfect.
okay.
Is that okay with the group?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Great.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, and I do have a prompt I'm going to share near the end here that I found that so one thing Laura is great at as well is making everybody feel lovely. Just and ChatGPT does that well as well, and very encouraging and that kind of thing. And there's sometimes that when ChatGPT's, oh, you nailed it, you're great, and it's, I know it was crap actually. Like, tell me the truth. And there is actually a prompt frame that you can add to the end of prompts and stuff like that that just says, basically don't butter me up, don't fluff me if there's a problem, or if you don't know the answer, don't fake it, don't hallucinate, basically, right? So, anyway, just something I'll share, but we won't put it in this one. So interview me, ask me one at a time, up to 3 questions for deeper context. And again, there was one I shared recently with the group about deeper context until you feel you have full understanding up to 95%. Something like that's bad sentence, but that was the idea, is add in the whole idea that, that you understand up to 95% clarity or something like that, right? Actually give it a, putting that in. And Jen, I don't know if you remember who I found that said that, but it was actually sort of like a boss prompt or to make it actually give it a context like 95%, where it actually has to go deeper than just ask me, so many questions, but until you feel you have 95% clarity on the topic, actually creates another layer of thought process. So, but can't remember who that was. I came across that one, started using that and sharing it out. But okay,
I don't
and then
remember.
so the task. Now the task is our task is going to be the same task as we did before. We might be able to add a few more words to it, but create a social media calendar, right? So we're going to paste that back in, create a social media calendar for my dog walking business. And do we want to add anything more to the task now? Like, what would we want if we were doing this, a deeper, more than just that, or do you want to leave it at that and see what comes out?
I think
The only thing I would suggest is, I think where you have it is fine, but you could also say, create a social media calendar for my dog walking business now that it's springtime, or,
Okay, yeah. Now that it's late spring in Manhattan,
there you go.
right? Providing 2 posts a day. So you want to do two posts, one in the morning, one at night, 2 posts a day, for 5 days a week. Maybe you don't want to be posting out on the weekends, right? Okay, so we'll try that. Good, already. Great, Nancy. Thanks for the context. Helps, right? And now it's going to ask the question, what platforms are you currently active on? See, now it's, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and where do you get the most engagement and interest from your audience? Anybody want to chime in on how I should answer this one?
I mean, I would go with Instagram, but
Okay. I am mostly on Instagram.
we should mention really quick that this is so different for every business depending on where your audience is. If you have an older audience, or more mature audience, they might be on Facebook more. If you are, if your audience is very young or younger, they might be TikTok. So knowing your audience and where you get the most engagement is important for this.
Good point.
And with that, don't hesitate to ask for versions for all the social media. So if you feel like you're not quite sure, or you just want to test the engagement, ask for Instagram, Facebook, X, and see how it works on all of them, including TikTok or whatever you might need. You don't have to post there, but you can at least see what is provided to you.
Yep.
Yep.
Cute dog photos. Yes. Who doesn't want to see those? I want cute dog reels, funny reels.
Yeah.
The reels where dogs like look to the side.
Yeah.
What was that, Brad?
It's getting easier and easier with AI video.
Yeah.
So, do you have any goals for your social media, like getting more clients, increasing brand awareness in Soho, getting more shares, or maybe even partnering with local pet stores or buildings? Yeah, so to get more shares and have I knew that was spelled wrong. Sorry, Mrs. Oh, what was her name? Oh, I can't remember her name. That was Mrs.
Nancy.
Chambers, who
Oh.
from grade 5, who said, "John, you spell terribly." Okay, I still do. Thank you.
I thought
Have
you spelled it right for Canadian.
yeah, there you go. I'll take that one. Encourage more outreach and um customers. Sure. Okay. Awesome. You want more shares of the outreach customer? Okay. Weekly theme.
Phone's running hard. Look at all that.
Yeah. So as we saw in the first one, we had a fairly basic output. Again, is it a lot different? It's got more about what we wanted, like our social calendar. We mentioned it was spring. We mentioned the name of the business. We mentioned all that kind of stuff. It's come up with neat little ideas. Wiggly Wednesday, dog tip Thursday, share seasonal tip, follow up Friday, and then it's got ideas for the evening post. It's got
Some
extra
mentioned Soho.
strategies,
Yeah.
mix. They've got the hashtags now. So now again, we've got some more of that. Stories, daily quick polls, which pup is the cutest, behind the scenes, call to action. Would you like me to create a template or caption to match this calendar? Sure. So now instead of just outputting it to Excel, it's asking, would you like me to do the next level? Right. So now it's creating posts. All I wrote was the word sure. Right. And there's the captions for the post. There's the title and the caption ready to go. Right. There's Tuesdays. There's Wednesdays. So now you're actually creating a very detailed calendar. So the first one was pretty straightforward. Just you could go back and forth and ask more questions and stop in each one of them. This one here, by going through the crit framework and giving it more context, taking a few more minutes. And again, you could just talk into it. Now you've got more of an outline, right? Would you like a Canva template pack or story highlights suggestion? I'm not even sure what a Canva template pack is. Anybody know what that is? Let's find out.
Yeah, it's going to create a Canva templates. So give it a go.
And sometimes it offers up like they can do a lot of things and you may be still waiting on it. We're finding out that they do rollouts eventually, but some people may be still waiting for a Google Doc that never arrived.
Okay. Okay. So it's use my format Instagram carousel, 5x5 square slides. Slide 1 title, meet the pack. Slide 2, one dog per slide with dog's name, fun fact, design tip, soft palette. So it's giving you the again, the Canva template pack is sort of what to go into Canva and start building out.
Give me the
Right?
framework.
The framework, which is good as well. And then Tuesday, so now we know we can send that to our designer, or if we're good at Canva, now we've got some ideas, the size. We're going to use this for reels, and that kind of thing. So again, what we've just done is we've taken what was a very simple prompt and we've added in more stuff. We could again, Canva's got AI. We could take some of this in and prompt Canva with this content. We could, you could actually go into the tools and ask it to create an image around one of them, like get some ideas, like say, can you create an image for the Monday morning post, so I can see what it looks like. Right? And I don't know if I need to turn on the create an image tool. I think I do. So we'll do that.
And
now
when I do
we're
it, I
going to get
just
an
put,
idea.
give me a graphic. And so you provided a lot of words. I just say graphic or image. So sometimes we overthink it.
Yep.
Yours most likely will be more thorough than what I had received, but you never know.
I just didn't want it to go off and create one for each one of them. I was just for revenue.
Yes, you do have to be specific about which one. No, I get that.
Yeah, that was it. So, but yeah, let's see what happens. So, and I
Well,
noticed that you were suggesting some things around the act like and stuff like that.
Well, what I did was just use the other framework based on the details that you were providing. I was just typing it in, so it'd be copy paste for you. But
Perfect.
kind of double check it, make sure. So I was just putting it in again, so our viewers can realize that we can all type in the dog walking scenario and have completely different suggestions. So, oh, your image is coming out very well.
Look at this, right? So again, so if you want an idea of what it should look like, right? Our designated sniffer insists on mid-walk belly rubs. Like how cute is that as a post? Just as an idea to get you started for the Monday morning post, which was meet the pack, right? So this is an idea it gave. So yeah. So now what we can do is start a new chat. And
you could, of course, download that image so you could use it if you want.
Yeah, and yeah, just click right there, share it, download it, click on it. It opens up in a like it's not a small image, like it's a full. And look at the detail level. Like those look like real dogs. And it didn't go out to it didn't go out to Getty Images and have you end up getting a letter saying that, hey, by the way, that dog is one of our dogs, and you now need to pay us $2,000 because you borrowed it or used it in a or you went to Google Images and grabbed something you shouldn't have grabbed, right? That kind of idea. So now we'll start a new chat, and I'll just copy from. Thank you, Laura. So this is now. I'll put this in here, and then we'll back and preface it. I'll pull back up the. So that was the crit we did, but this is now the perfect prompting framework written out with the act as a social media manager. My name is Nancy. So it's a different way of providing that information, more in the perfect prompting framework by Jonathan Mast. I have that correctly. So,
and something else too that a tip I recommend is think of it as when you would write for a newspaper. I know that I don't believe any of us had official newspaper writing experience, but they always said start with the headline and the big details first. And we need to remember that too with AI is we can get caught up with a lot of little things. And if the big details that we really want it to do is in the middle, then unfortunately we may miss. And even as you see, John's getting more questions based on we just threw a bunch of information at it at once, and now we're going to get kind of caught up with some questions. So not expected, but obviously it's reality as to what we ran into when we tried to throw a bunch of things at it at once.
Yeah, and these are good questions though. Do you actually have any photos of the dogs you walk, right? The buildings and neighborhoods, or yourself on the walks? Or would you like the content ideas that don't rely heavily on original images? So we don't right now, so it's fake business. So we say, let's stick to non-original. And again, I do tend to be less less short, more verbose. I will actually chat to it like, a little bit, yo, dude, cool, let's do, and I will type it out or talk it out like that. And yeah, we end up with funny conversations, Chat and I, on a regular basis. So, but, there's no right or wrong way. It's if you're getting the right output, then you're getting the right output. Discount offer. What's the actual discount or offer for new weekend bookings? Percentage off, dollar off, free first walk. I like the free first walk. And then I go 3. And then we go availability. Are you currently looking to fill specific time slots, afternoon walks, or just looking for a general grow? I have openings on all walks currently.
And as John was saying, because it's a conversation going back and forth, you it gives ideas that we may not have thought about in our own businesses. So I'll again, as we're doing with this fictitious business, it does have that creativity going, ooh, would that be an opportunity for us to offer a discount or a day free or something of, a free bath with your walk or whatever it might be to grow your business. It hopefully gives you additional ideas for whatever type of business you're running.
Yeah. And again, even something like this, say, for example, you don't want to do reels or carousels or whatever. You could just tell it like, just this type and that type. Oh, and I've got another idea as well. Once I have that information, I will give you this. So there's the 5 questions and I just answered them. And we got a 7-day spring content calendar for friendly dog walking. Okay. And now we've got a different output, right? And we've got day 1, Monday mood, day 2, testimonial Tuesday. So even across all 3 options, we've got so many cool ideas that, what I do when I do these things is I tend to, when I like something, I will, because the output is so good. Oh, we're going to go down this in a second. I will go and grab, I'll copy the output and open up a Google Doc and paste it in and just start and create tabs and start working with tabs and ending up with some really cool output documents and reports and things like that, where I'm comparing one idea against another idea and stuff, because I'm pulling it over. Like, for example, just as an example here's a case study I did exactly this, a case study on a video back in May, and then created an implementation guide and a checklist, all out of, and also contrarian views. And that was just me going back and forth with a piece of content. Same idea, just asking questions, getting output, and that's the type of out. And I would just copy the screen and put it on there and save that as a resource document. So right now, our dog walker Nancy has a bunch of different, a good, better, best, a little bit of flow going on, and we've got day 6 weekend plans. This one's a 7 days, so spring walk Sundays, and then we've got the weekly content theme rotation. And then suggested hashtags in a code box right there. And then would you like me to set up next week's content too? And you can see how you can save this chat in your sidebar and keep coming back to it once you like it and say, hey, this is really cool. I've got something started, let's continue on from here and keep growing the output content and having it adding to, once you find the framework you like, you can keep adding and have it carry on next week if you want.
Do you mind showing them how you would save or rename it so that they can find it easily?
Yeah. So if I go to my sidebar here, you will see that right here's the ones that we've done before, right? So I go back to that one's the original one. And I can hit 3 dots. And I can share it with somebody. I can rename it right here and call it my, this was crit. So it's not a role that it came up with anything, but crit based.
Nice.
Right. There we go. And that could be that one. And then this one is, go back to this one. And it again, it would be, we can rename this one the perfect prompt framework version, right?
Well,
and it.
I was gonna say, when you renamed it, it jumped the crit above.
It did. It jumped to the top now, and then that's what I was waiting for. Then it goes to that one there, right? And then there's our act as perfect prompt framework one, and then the other one was the very basic one we started with, right? Yeah. So we've got the basic, we've got the perfect prompt, and we've got the crit, all 3 outputs, all kinds of information, all in about, what was this, about half an hour worth of playing around. And we've got a lot of content and ideas and a really good starting point for a social media calendar. And we also know that we can create images from it. And we can go and pull some of that stuff over to Canva's got a prompt that you can go through that's built right into ChatGPT and give it a prompt and then open up in Canva and edit the pieces. Like you can just go nuts with this. So
this was great, John. I think you did a fabulous job explaining it and made it real crystal clear for people that are just getting started or somebody even that has been doing this for a little bit, as far as giving a lot of new tips, ideas, strategies. So this was really good.
Cool.
I think with that, guys, I think we had a great show today, and I think we could probably wrap up and let everybody get rolling on the weekend. I know Laura's going to be traveling, and most of us got warm weather, so I think we can wrap it up. So with that, be sure to like and share and subscribe to our channel. Tell other people about it. And I think today is a wrap for the AI marketing expert show. So
Thank
have a
you.
good one,
everybody.